Well, the energy is pulsing here in Africa. It's all ours down at the bottom of the continent. Here, the World Surf League's QS 10,000, the very first one of the year unfolding. You're joining us in the round of 24 surfers remaining third heat of the morning as we tee up a big one. B.Mamiya, highlight performance yesterday, sees himself through to this now round, taking on former championship tour surfer W.Dantas. Watch for the spark of the Brazilians as M.Fernandez makes up the three-man heat. And we are watching for now the first wave of M.Fernandez as you join us in the Ballito Pro, presented by O'Neill. Nice snap there. Nice release out of it. Two-turn combination. Little error there from M.Fernandez as he just gets stuck on the landing. One of them in Adriano de Souza, the other now in Geordie Lawler. And here we go for the first roll of the dice from former championship tour surfer W.Dantas. Just a one maneuver input though. I thought he might get a little bit more out of that. Maybe the biggest ones are not the key. Maybe the medium ones are. Let's answer that question as B.Mamiya goes on a medium-sized set. Tracking down the line. He's almost telegraphing to go to the air. Kind of got a little bit confused as to whether to slap that one with a power turn or to try punt off the lip.
Yeah, you're right.
Kind of arrived here and then was maybe down in the hundreds on the rankings.
It was his very first event last year.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember chatting to him after his heat, and he was just saying, contrasting approach, maybe a touch risky, but he kind of came in super fresh, a full bank balance as well. Hadn't really spent all his money on travels just yet.
Well, let's have a look here. Switching direction, looking for opportunity. B.Mamiya, we saw him go. Excellent category score on a single maneuver yesterday into what very different conditions surf-wise. Of course, surf conditions on the pump here in South Africa. As you see now, the Hawaiian, well, down in third priority, he's just going to look for anything at this stage to try and build a number. Very low numbers right now, hooked onto the scorecard of B.Mamiya. We're going to throw down to him shortly. Let's just stick with this one of W.Dantas as he takes off on another big nugget here. Top end hit. This is what Wiggly was doing all of the last 2 days. His backhand, if anything, has got better. And it's hard to say that because he's got one of the most powerful backhand hits in the game, and W.Dantas is going to bring himself right into discussion. Talking of discussion, let's go down and hear from Jack Freestone.
Love this replay, man. We were talking about his backhand. You just said how incredibly powerful he is. I love that in the pocket Rio. He hit that 12 o'clock mark almost from the bottom turn and cutting back into the whitewater. This inside section now starting to really come into play as that tide drops out. And he was just saying that you do have to be picky out there, but you can't really afford to kind of just sit around and wait, right?
Exactly. Well, doing not much waiting now is M.Fernandez, second place surfer in this heat. Lovely sweep out of that first turn, gets nice projection. While here is B.Mamiya, a little snap there, gets his shoulders involved with that one, lifts those elbows as he exits those turns. And three-turn input there. We'll see B.Mamiya wave bye-bye to a 0.93 as a counting score. And suddenly the heat's going to start shaping into place here, Jared.
Dantas, he's going to have a look at this one. Replacement surf on the championship tour last year.
Yep, well, nobody knows how to hit a backhand turn harder than W.Dantas. And how about that second load right there? We saw him do two maneuvers for excellent category scores a couple of days ago in very similar conditions. And just like that, he's going to add a new score to his tally.
Yeah, of course, we were watching this replay. I loved how smooth, but watch the bottom turn and you see him just cranking it off the top. It was the second turn here. Oh, man. He just absolutely gouged the guts out of that end set, kind of settling the body. And I loved that from W.Dantas. It was just classic backhand surfing as we see Barron just a quick in and out there having a look at that right hand.
Barron fetched a 5.33 for that run down the line on the right-hander. He's going to look to try and emulate it. Meanwhile, reply coming now from M.Fernandez, who's now bumped down to third. Just comes out of that broken section there, M.Fernandez. Low scores right now occupying Fernandez's scorecard. 7 minutes to go here in the encounter. You're joining us for a big weekend here as we're going to wrap up the first QS 10,000 of the year. M.Fernandez has, meanwhile, replaced a score, and he's now back at work. He's up into second. Little error there from Marco. And certainly Beric de Vries knows how to handle those. The other person that lives in the area is now three-time Big Wave World Tour champ. Grant Baker lives in the town. It's for a reason, folks, as we watch B.Mamiya just trying to squeeze something out of the lineup here. I'm wondering, Barron was down in third priority there, so he's just trying to squeeze what he can out from underneath M.Fernandez here. Substandard set. I'm not going to pull the trigger on that. Someone that has to pull the trigger is B.Mamiya, who has just quietly sneaked back to second place position and now goes to the air. Lovely thud. And as quick as he thuds, those fins grab, and a quick spin to redirect as the landing will be successful for B.Mamiya. Be as critical as you want, Jared. We saw Freestone only get a 4.77 for an air.
But watch here, he just kind of, I felt like almost didn't quite get the timing 100% right, but I love the landing on that, and Baron doing the job out there. Watch him now. He's going to, I think, take to the skies again.
Well, looking for something. You forecasted that, Jared, and incomplete that time. So B.Mamiya ups the requirement for M.Fernandez by a touch. Mid-range 3 now becomes a 5.86 requirement for the third place surfer. Well, the other thing I'm noticing is a bit of movement with the wind direction. Let's have a look at Dantas here as he goes now for the victory lap. One of those bigger waves, and well, that will absolutely add nothing to the scorecard. So Dantas is going to take the heat win here with the 15.06. B.Mamiya is going to get the advancing second place position along with W.Dantas. So the heat win goes to Dantas. B.Mamiya advances into the final 16 here in Ballito. We'll continue with the round as we take a quick break from beautiful Ballito, South Africa.